and welcome to the Gussets and Go Days podcast, episode number 16. My name is Christina and this is my podcast about my knitting, stitching and crafting endeavours. So we are now mid-December, we're getting scarily close to Christmas, and I've got a couple of little projects that I'd like to share with you. So, starting off, of course, I had to jump on the bandwagon and start making some Christmas socks. So these are the West Yorkshire Spinners. They are the Fairy Lights colourway, which is so just festively fantastic. I absolutely adore them, and the contrasts are their cayenne pepper colourway. I got them together with the matching green, which is the same colour as the stripe, which is the key lime pie, and I got the 3 balls I think I showed last week from Suffolk Socks, which is one of my favourite UK based shops for sock yarn, for commercial sock yarn especially, and when anyone asks me for gift, what they want to buy me for gifts, I just go on that website because, oh my gosh, such beautiful stuff, and it's sock based, so yeah, I can make socks with everything, and I just had to order this colour. I've been following their little pattern that comes along with it, doing the same heel flap and gusset, and which I've only done once before. I usually do a short row heel, and one side has come out, you know, really quite neatly across here, but the other side is a little bit, I think where I've been slipping the stitches, they're quite inconsistent. Now maybe with blocking that will come out, I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and look at my my grey pair of Mercury socks, I think, they're the only other socks that I've done with a heel flap and gusset, and see if I had the same problem, or maybe compare the patterns. Maybe I was doing something a little bit different on that one. But yeah, they are coming really nicely, coming out really nicely. I've just been keeping them in my lovely little needle holder by So Sweet Violet, which was in my advent calendar this year, and it's so lovely, which is why I had to cast on some Christmas socks. I know they don't actually go, they don't match, but they're just 2 lovely things, and I don't really mind if things are a bit mismatched, but it's so lovely. I love this corally pink, so pretty. Anyway, and that is living at the moment in my Eldenwood craft bag, which also really pretty. Now, since the last time I saw you, I was working on my Whitehorse by Caitlin Hunter, and I've done quite a bit more. So I'm now at the point where I may want to split for the sleeves. I haven't decided yet, so what I'm going to do is put this now on some waste yarn and just put it on my body and just check if it comes deep enough for the armhole. Now I suspect it's not, because I've knitted the amount of rows for the smallest size, and I'm not knitting the smallest size, I'm knitting the, is it the extra large or the extra large? I will write the details below. But it is coming out really beautifully, absolutely adore it, in the Laxtons Limited BFL Marsham, yeah, undyed colourway colour yarn, which is really lovely. I'm knitting the fingering weight held double because I ordered incorrectly. There is actually a DK weight available, but yeah, it's really beautiful, and I've got a lovely stitch marker there that came with my advent calendar from Layfamily yarn, Christmas cake, and I love Christmas cake, so that is very fitting for this time of year. So Really lovely. You'll notice I've got lots of little stitch markers dangling off because it is lace, and that has made a huge difference for me having those stitch markers there. And I do count as I'm going, I do count how many stitches I've got, and when I finish that portion I do just skim through and just check that I'm on the right track. So far, touch wood, yeah, it seems to have gone really, really well, and I absolutely adore it so far. It's really pretty. I did do, the only thing I did differently was I did extra ribbing on the neckband, just because when I was looking at some of the pictures, some of them were a little bit mean on the amount of ribbing that they had there, and I don't like it when the neckline kind of stretches out, so I thought a little bit of extra rib and then going that little bit larger means that it's not pulling across my body, and yeah, it's also not super heavy. It's not a really, really dense gauge, and it's a very light yarn, so I'm hoping this will all make sure that I get a nice neat neck, a nice, you know, neatly close to the body. And it does have short rows through the back, so it will be sitting up nice and high in the back and not dipping down, so that is fantastic. And oh, it's lovely. I've been working, I wound up 2 balls of fingering weight together, and it was the biggest jumbo ball ever. So I'm gonna have to wind another ball because that is all I've got left. I think I only had 5 balls of fingering weight, and that is 2 of them. So I have a sneaking suspicion I will need to order more. So we'll see. When I ordered it, the minimum order was 5 balls, so I would need to then order another 5, which will be too much, but maybe I can make like a little beret or hat of some kind. Maybe a gift. I really like matching things, so you know, a little sweater with a little matching beret would just, I think, be super cute. Anyway. Oh, and that has been living in my new project bag by So Sweet Violet from my advent calendar, and it has this, I've put this lovely pin, isn't she beautiful, which also came from my advent calendar. Actually, really funny thing, last year I ordered some of this fabric from the only website I could find it in Australia, and it took ages to arrive. I think it came in maybe Easter time, which is way too late. So I put it in my Christmas box of decorations with a few Christmas skeins of yarn, and I thought, oh, I'll make one when Christmas comes around again, and I don't need to now, so I've got some lovely fabric. I don't know what I'll do with it, but mine would never have been as lovely as this is. So, yay. Anyway, let's put that back in there safe. I'm at that crucial stage now with the project, and I've been making some really good notes, and I've written all of my gauge and everything, and that's made it much easier. I think with the lace projects, my notes are crucial because I'm not so good at reading the knitting, the lace knitting, as I am very good at reading stockinette, which is the easiest thing to read. But anyway, so those have been my 2 knitting projects that I've been working on, and there is only one other project that I've been working on at the moment, and that is my ball gown. Now the ball is tomorrow. Oh, which is why I have done my hair extra, and I've got matching nail polish and lipstick ready. I just thought I would trial the lipstick because I wasn't sure about it when I bought it. Not that it's there's any time to change it, because there is not now. It's tomorrow. There is not another lipstick being bought. I have this pattern, I used this pattern last year for my ball gown. This is Butterick's B6413. It is a fitted pencil skirt with a fitted midriff section. This has a notch cut out of it and then a hole, and then these two separate pieces. I actually made, this is a faux tie, it's not real. Last year I made a real tie here. I got rid of the gap, the hole, and I added a fishtail here. I made it full length. Now this year I've cut the skirt exactly the same. I've added a little ruffle, it's not floor length. I've used the midriff pattern, and then I've just redrafted by myself a new little plain bodice, so I can show you what I've got so far. So that's what I'm doing this afternoon. So it is narrow little straps that sit just on the very, very edge of the shoulders, then a fitted bodice and fitted pencil skirt. There is a seam that runs underneath the bust, and that is meant to be just the dart, but I slightly foolishly did not trial the top before I cut it out in this fabric. If I had done, I would have realised that it was gaping at the neckline, and I could easily have removed this excess into the dart below. I didn't do that, which means that I have to think of a solution. Now I'm just going to add a seam that goes all the way through. I could also have unpicked this seam and restitched it with some non-stretch tape behind my stitching and just kind of eased that fabric in, but I didn't want to risk that the top edge was tight and then here was a little bit loose. So yeah, I had my lovely friend Maria fit it for me at work, and we have agreed that we don't mind this. So gosh, looks huge, but you know, there's no zip in it, so it's like dangling. That's my excuse. And I just cut a half circle and whack that on the bottom. So today I need to secure the shoulders, and actually the front strap is narrower than the back strap by accident, so I need to make them the same, stitch them together, add the zip in the back, finish the hem, and add those seams. So plenty of time the day before the ball. Absolutely ridiculous. I don't know why we do this to ourselves. This is not just me, this is all the girls. Well, few of them I think have finished their dresses. One of them came in on her day off and was crawling around on top of the table, which was hilarious, trying to cut out her dress whilst she was sick. Yeah, I don't know. Girls and parties, very, very silly. Do I have anything to say about the dress? The fabric I bought from the Goldhalk Road in Shepherd's Bush in London, called Classic Textiles. They do not have a website. I don't think any of the shops on Goldhalk Road have a website. If you've not been, I actually really hate it. I really love the fabric selection, but I'm not good at haggling. I just want to pay whatever the price is. I do not want to have a conversation about what I think your fabric is worth. I find that very, very uncomfortable. Sometimes customers will do that to me, and I'll tell them how much I'm going to charge them for the alterations that we will be doing on their garment, and they tell me they're not happy to pay that, that they'll pay me half, and I just find it very disrespectful. The price is the price. Go elsewhere if you don't like it. That's maybe me being very mean, and I know in other countries they do it, and that's fine, but yeah, this is not an English thing, like at all. At all. But it also makes me really angry if someone else has then bought the same fabric for less money because they said they weren't going to buy it because it was too expensive. But anyway, who cares? Also, some of the shops are quite dirty. I don't know. You get cheap fabric there is a huge selection, but it's not a beautifully styled, pristine shop. So, you know, that's probably why you're not spending a huge amount of money. Now, if I go to Butterick Street in central London, where there's the Cloth House and the Silk Society, I mean, the cost of those garments, the fabric, is just insane. But it is spectacular, and it's come from all over the world. They've sourced the best fabrics you can imagine, very unusual things. So anyway, I don't know where I was going with that tangent. This was from Classic Textiles. In the shop, in the dark lighting, I thought it was quite a rosy pink. It's actually a little bit towards the lilac side than I like, because I'm not a lilac person. Although lilac does like me, I do not like lilac. Never mind, we're going with it. Hopefully on the next episode I will have taken, I'm going to try and take some video, if not some photographs, but I think some video would be nice. Maybe some little shots of the ball, because I've mentioned it a few times and I know some people have been really kind and asked questions about it and been excited with me. And I think it'd be nice for someone to see. It's, you know, Park Lane is a very, very glamorous place in London, and the hotels are really quite spectacular. So it would be nice to see the dress in all of its glory with a little ruffle. I like a ruffle for dancing, so you get a little swing. And anyway, I have rambled on long enough about my ball gown. I do prefer not to do alterations on garments. If I'm making them, I would prefer to make a toile, find out the problems, fix them at the pattern, and then making the garment is smooth sailing. The reason this part here has stretched out is because it's bias cut. So if I had made something on a straight line, then I do not need to be as careful as if I cut it on the bias. I do know that. Did I take that into consideration? No, I did not. So, silly me. So I would like to share an upcoming project that I'm going to be working on. So I would like to make some tree toppers, one for myself and one for my friend Ivana. She is incredibly stylish, actually. She's such a special person. When I started my job in Harrods, she trained me and was so kind, and just really, she's that type of person that when they believe in you, it gives you that confidence to work hard and to succeed. So I have made her like a couple of little things in the past. I think I made her a little decoration last year or the year before, and I would like to make her a little fairy, and myself a fairy for the top of my tree. I have found lots of kind of Victorian styled ones, but not many mid-century looking ones, which is what I would prefer. So I've got some plain cotton that I bought in Abakhan fabrics. I thought I would make a doll with the cotton. I've got the wadding. I asked her for some of her ball gown fabric, which is just this lovely nudie blush tulle with gold beads, and I thought she could have a little tutu or something in that fabric. I ordered some merino wool tops for felting. I bought some from Abakhan fabrics as well, and Ivana has got black hair, so I got this one, and then I wasn't sure whether I'd go with the yellow. Of course, when making a doll, the idea is to make mini-me's, because, you know, why would you not? And then for the wings, proper crafting is not complete unless you have pipe cleaners. Yeah. So I have no pattern. I'm just going to completely go rogue. I'm thinking a slim doll with quite, you know, long skinny legs. I'm thinking a head, like quite big head compared to the body. I'm really selling her, aren't I? She's going to be fabulous. And then I thought I would sculpt some kind of vintage waves, probably not long, probably like quite like short, using the fleece. I thought I could kind of roll it and kind of maybe sculpt it and just all by hand. Maybe I'll machine stitch the doll's arms and legs before I turn them inside out. Anyway, I do follow a couple of doll makers on Instagram, and I have made a doll in the past and some Christmas decorations and things, so hopefully that will hold me in good stead. I really enjoy those little crafty projects, and for a Christmas topper she doesn't need to be kind of childproof, so you know, little bits on her, like little beads and things, I can use. The pipe cleaners would not last very well if they're being played with, but on the tree I think I'm happy with that. So hopefully next time I'll be able to share that with you. Really excited about that. And then I ordered this beautiful shade card because Amy of the Little Tailoress was using some knit by numbers, and I asked her about what colour she was using, and she very kindly let me know the colour, and I had to order the shade card when we were talking about it because I don't know, I logged on to their website and they were just some really stunning colours, which I'm doing a really bad job of showing you. But anyway, I don't have any shade cards from any brands before. I usually like buying in person. I've bought a few times online and been a little bit disappointed. Just because everyone's screen is a bit different. So I would like to knit the Together shawl, which was designed by Pia Camerborn of the Camerbornia podcast, and I'm going to do it in a grey. So it's a triangular shawl and it has little bubbles all over, and I think it's the number 3 that I ordered. So I thought I was torn between the 3 and the 4, so I think I went with the 3 in the end. But it's a dark grey, slightly, I mean, it's not heathered, but it has those kind of natural tones running through it, which gives it that little bit of depth, which I much prefer than just one solid colour. I do like a speckle or a variation. So I asked for that for my Christmas present, so hopefully it will arrive in time and I can cast that on Christmas Day. It is very lovely. I did used to do paint by numbers, so they've got the knit by numbers, and this is all I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, it's a little drawing, and then you just used to have to colour in each numbered piece with the number of paint pots. It would come with all little pots down the side, and I used to absolutely love that, and how you just build up little areas of colour, and then they all blend together and create the most glorious pictures. So I love that idea of yarn and how you can use yarn in that way. So that is really exciting. I really want to order something for a 4-ply project, for a fingering weight project. I'm thinking maybe a plain cardigan, 4-ply, just for home. Is there the no frills cardigan? I think no frills. It's just a really plain cardigan, slightly longer, with 2 pockets on the front, and you can make it a little bit oversized and then just kind of wrap it up all lovely and toasty. So maybe I'll have a look at that. Anyway, this is just so inspiring. It is an absolute thing of beauty. Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. Anyway, so those are all the projects I've been working on at the moment. So fingers crossed today I get this dress finished before the sun goes down, because I hate sewing when it's dark. I'm sure it's going to be fine. I'll whiz in the zip in 15 minutes. Shortening the hem will take me 20 minutes. I don't know how long it's going to take me to add those seams, because that's the very front and it needs to be just so, you know. I'm actually not very fussy about the things that I make for myself for one occasion, so I don't know if I would ever wear that again, which unfortunately triggers something in my mind to say, just budget, just get it done, which is really not the mentality that I want to be having. I really do try with all my everyday garments to put in all the effort and the time and make sure that it really is beautiful. But with a one-off piece that I only intend to wear once, because all of the other dresses that I have made or bought to go to that occasion every year, I've never worn again, and then I just have this massive ball gown in my dress just doing nothing. So this year I did choose a style that I thought I could wear to more occasions. It's not floor length. The pencil skirt comes to just under the knee, and then like a 6-inch ruffle, I think. So kind of mid-lower calf. I mean, it's not shockingly made by any means. It's just, you know, when it gets towards the end of the make, that's when I start getting sloppy. So it is perfect so far. I've not made any mistakes. I mean, that small imperfection. The mistake I made on the neckline was I was rushing the pattern, and I did not have time to make a sample. But I don't mind that there's going to be that seam running through. I'm super happy that that's going to be there. You know, I'd rather have the fit and there's an extra seam, and no one's going to notice. Except that you work in a team full of women that work in alterations. Never wear a garment. Never wear it. Just don't make anything and then bring it in. No, never. Honestly. I just asked one person to fit this garment. Oh, can you have it? Just pin it in. And I'm as bad as everybody else. I do the exact same thing. We can't help it. We look at things with this hawk-eye, and it's like, oh, you need to do that. Oh, you need to do that. Oh my gosh. We're awful. All of us absolutely dreadful. I don't mean to do it, and then when someone else does it to me, it makes me mad. But anyway, I ignored what everyone said and I'm going off on my own tangent. No one cares. At the end of the day, once you've got your hair and your makeup and you've stuck some lashes on your face, which are really uncomfortable, and you've got your earrings on and you're all fabulous, and no one notices if you've got an extra seam whacked in the front. If they do, then they get 10 points. Well done. Anyway, I have rambled on long enough and wasted enough of my morning doing nothing, because I was really enjoying knitting those socks. So I'm now going to remove this fabulousness from here, drink my hot elderflower cordial, which will now be cold, which is still delicious, winning, and finish that dress. So fingers crossed for me. See you next time. Thank you so much for watching. I am Gussets and Go Days on Instagram if you'd like to see some snapshots of my day. We do have a Ravelry group, although I clearly am rubbish at Ravelry. And thank you for joining me. See you soon, everybody. Thank you.